we had a discussion on a range of issues, and one of the issues which came up was actually mobility of people. We want Indian talent and Indian skills to have the maximum opportunity at a global level. At the same time, we are also very firmly opposed to illegal mobility and illegal migration, because you also know that when something illegal happens, many other illegal activities get joined onto it. We have been consistent, we have been very principled about it, and that remains our position, and I conveyed that very clearly to Secretary Rubio. It is in our mutual interest to facilitate legal and mutually beneficial mobility. So as I said, if it takes 400 odd days waiting period to get a visa, I don't think the relationship is well served. In terms of the reference you made, Yashwant, to the irregular migration, yes, we had a discussion on a range of issues, and one of the issues which came up was actually mobility of people. Now, we have a position on mobility which is a principal position, applies to all countries. As a government, we obviously are very much supportive of legal mobility, because we do believe in a global workplace. We want Indian talent and Indian skills to have the maximum opportunity at a global level. At the same time, we are also very firmly opposed to illegal mobility and illegal migration, because you also know that when something illegal happens, many other illegal activities get joined onto it. And it's not, this is not desirable, it's certainly not reputationally good. We have, with every country, and the US is no exception, we have always taken the view that if there are any of our citizens who are not here legally, if we are sure that they are our citizens, we have always been open to their legitimate return to India. So it's not a position unique to the United States. I do understand right now that there is a certain debate going on and a resulting sensitivity which is there. But we have been consistent, we have been very principled about it, and that remains our position, and I conveyed that very clearly to Secretary Rubio. At the same time, I also told him that, look, while we understand all of this, and I also accept that these are autonomous processes, it is in our mutual interest to facilitate legal and mutually beneficial mobility. So as I said, if it takes 400 odd days waiting period to get a visa, I don't think the relationship is well served by this. So I think he also noted that point. So let us see how we take that forward. But while I've seen some numbers, and I'm moving now to Lalit's question here, I've seen some numbers. I caution you about them, because for us a number is operative when we can actually validate the fact that the individual concerned is of Indian origin. So we'll have to see sort of really how that goes, because it has, as I said, the basis of their stay or not able to stay, and the fact that at our end we have to verify that they are indeed Indians, because naturally there are sensitivities involved there as well.
जब आप अमृतसर में गए थे तो पंजाब के लोगों ने आपके सामने एक बात रखी थी, ट्रेड विद पाकिस्तान, और उसके बाद आप पाकिस्तान भी गए, और दो इशू हैं ट्रेड के, और जो पाकिस्तान से ड्रग आ रही है उसके साथ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन बहुत खराब है पंजाब में। वहाँ के पुलिस स्टेशन जो है उनकी दीवारें ऊंची की जा रही हैं, और वहाँ के जो रास्ते 8 बजे रात को बंद कर दिए जाते हैं। सो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का इसके बारे में एजेंडे के ऊपर कहाँ है ये तीन चीजें, ट्रेड विद वाघा बॉर्डर, थ्रू वाघा बॉर्डर, एंड ड्रग एंड लॉ एंड ऑर्डर इन स्पेशली इन बॉर्डर एरियाज।
सतपाल जी, जो आपका जो प्रश्न जो था ट्रेड विद पाकिस्तान, देखिए ट्रेड हमने तो बंद नहीं किया, जो किया तो उनके प्रशासन ने जो 2019 में जो निर्णय लिए गए कि भारत के साथ व्यापार नहीं करना, वो उनके साइड से था। तो हमारा जो ये इस मुद्दा के बारे में हमारी जो चिंता जो थी शुरू से, हमारा हित था कि हमें MFN स्टेटस मिले, कि हम पाकिस्तान को MFN स्टेटस देते थे, वो हमको देते नहीं थे। तो आज पिछले साल के बाद ऐसी कोई पाकिस्तान के साथ बैठ के ऐसी कोई बात नहीं हुई व्यापार के बारे में, ना उनके यहाँ से कोई ऐसा इनिशिएटिव आया है। जो ड्रग्स के बारे में जो आप कह रहे हैं वो तो सबको जानकारी है इसमें कि वहाँ से ड्रग्स काफ़ी संख्या में आते हैं और ये चिंताजनक विषय है। और जो वहाँ जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, अगर आप पाकिस्तान की लॉ एंड ऑर्डर बात कर रहे हैं या बॉर्डर एरिया के लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, हाँ देखिए, जो हमारे यहाँ जो इंटरनल अफेयर्स हैं, आप जानते हैं कि मैं देश के बाहर जाके इसके बारे में टिप्पणी नहीं करता। तो हमारे जो भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव चैलेंजेस हैं हम निपट लेंगे उसके साथ। ये तो हम पर ही निर्भर है कि हम इसको कैसे रिस्पॉन्स करें।
How do you read the China policy? I know it's only 2 or 3 days. Given the fact that President Trump has gone beyond what the US law says on TikTok, gone against the US Supreme Court judgment, and wants to cut a deal on TikTok, does it tell you that he is willing to sort of overlook national security concerns? So what's your read so far on China policy? Because from India's point of view, that would be an important policy, right? How he executes it.
So, Seema, let me respond to your question. I mean, look, what is the policy of an American administration towards China is either for the Americans to explain or the Chinese to comment. It's not for me publicly to take a position on it. I'm obviously, dealing with the world. We obviously, reflect on various developments. What I can say, as someone who's come here, interacted with, the key foreign policy figures of the administration certainly, is the positive sentiment they have for our country and for our relationship. If you ask me, okay, go beyond that, the bit I can share with you is, what we discussed during the Quad. And during the Quad, the sentiment was very clear that, the Indo-Pacific is a very crucial region, that it's important, that there is stability there is security there is respect for law. So I think, some of it was very succinctly captured in that statement which was there. So, but beyond that, another bilateral relationship for me to comment publicly, I don't think really would be appropriate. I definitely, as someone who's been involved in the relationship for many, many decades, I would say that the levels of trust are very high, and not just because in a way the trust is a more systemic sentiment. I would also say there's a very visible chemistry between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump, and that also in a sense percolates through the system and reinforces that comfort and trust that you have referred to. So there was a very visible appetite to get this relationship moving, to do more, to raise the bar, set bigger goals. So that was the sort of feeling in the room.